Yahweh and the cosmos, the God who contains the universe. Among the deepest questions of theology is this: is Yahweh inside or outside the cosmos? Among the deepest questions of theology is this: is Yahweh inside or outside the cosmos? Is Yahweh exist or existence himself? Is Yahweh a living God or life himself? Does Yahweh operates in some supernatural energy or he is energy himself? Is Yahweh up there or he is omnipresence? Is Yahweh within the universe or outside the universe? And finally, is Yahweh operates in the limit of time, matter, and space, or he is operating outside the limit of time, matter, and space? The answer reveals not only how we understand the Creator's relationship with creation, but also how we, as his image bearers, understand our place in the universe. The cosmos, the heavens and the earth, is vast beyond measure, yet Scripture declares that Yahweh cannot be contained by it. He is both transcendent, existing beyond and above creation, and immanent, actively present within it. The universe exists within his will and power. He does not exist within it. In short, Yahweh contains the universe does not contain him.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. You're tuned in to Lionsgates Media, your go-to channel for insightful commentary, thought-provoking discussions, and the latest perspectives on news, culture, technology, and faith. Here, we explore topics that matter, challenge ideas, and inspire conversations that go beyond the headlines. So grab a seat, engage with us in the comments, and let's dive deep together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the conversation.
Is Yahweh inside or outside the cosmos? The question of whether Yahweh is inside or outside the cosmos cannot be answered in spatial terms, because Yahweh is not a spatial being. Scripture affirms simultaneously that the heaven of heavens cannot contain you, and that he fills the heavens and the earth. That means Yahweh is not trapped within the universe as one object among others, but neither is he located in a distant external space. Instead, Yahweh transcends the cosmos, existing beyond the created order, yet he continually sustains it from within. The universe exists by his will, but he does not occupy it in a physical sense. He relates to the cosmos as its cause, not as a part of its structure. His presence is not bounded, measured, or localized. Thus, Yahweh is not inside or outside the cosmos, but the one upon whom the cosmos depends. Is Yahweh existence, or only one who exists? Yahweh does not merely exist the way created beings exist. He is the very ground and source of existence itself. When he declares, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh, I am that I am, he identifies himself not as a being among beings, but as being itself. This means Yahweh does not receive existence from anything else, nor does he participate in a category larger than himself. All created things have existence. Yahweh is existence. Classical Jewish theology calls him necessary existence, meaning his non-existence is impossible, for he is the reason anything can exist at all. While creatures are contingent, dependent, and limited, Yahweh's being is absolute and uncaused. He is the source from which all reality flows, and without his continuous presence sustaining existence, nothing would endure even for a moment. Is Yahweh a living God or life itself? Scripture calls Yahweh the living God, yet this title means more than simply that he is alive. Yahweh is the origin and fountain of all life. He possesses life not as a property, but as his very essence. Created beings live by receiving life, but Yahweh is life. His vitality is not biological, energetic, or temporal. It is the absolute fullness of being from which all degrees of life derive. Every breath, spirit, and soul lives because he continuously communicates life to creation. The psalmist says, "With you is the fountain of life," meaning Yahweh is not one living thing among others, but the source upon which all living things depend. His life does not begin or end, is not sustained by anything outside himself, and cannot be diminished. Therefore, Yahweh is both living and life itself, the cause and meaning of every form of life that exists. Does Yahweh operate by a supernatural energy, or is he energy itself? Energy, in scientific and philosophical terms, belongs to the created order. It exists within space-time and behaves according to the laws Yahweh established. Therefore, Yahweh does not use energy the way creatures do, nor is he a form of energy. Energy is finite, measurable, and bound to the structure of the cosmos, whereas Yahweh is infinite, immeasurable, and unbound. In theological language, Yahweh's acts are not transmissions of energy but expressions of divine will. His power is not a substance but his own essence acting. Nothing limits his operation and nothing fuels it. He does not need force to act. He brings force itself into being. Jewish mysticism describes this as the Ein Sof, the Infinite One, whose will manifests creation but is not reducible to any created category. Thus, Yahweh transcends all energies, while all energy depends on him. Is Yahweh up there or omnipresent? The idea of Yahweh being up there is metaphorical language used by Scripture to speak to human understanding. Spatial direction cannot apply literally to a being who created space itself. Yahweh's omnipresence means he is present to all things, not by occupying space or being spread across it, but by sustaining everything's existence at every moment. He is fully present everywhere, yet not contained anywhere. His presence is not like air filling a room. It is the grounding of every place, moment, and being. When Scripture speaks of him enthroned in heaven, it expresses his authority, not his location. When it says he is near to the brokenhearted, it speaks of relational closeness, not physical nearness. Yahweh transcends spatial limits, yet intimately engages creation. Therefore, he is omnipresent, not in a spatial sense, but in a metaphysical and sustaining one. Is Yahweh within the universe or outside the universe? To ask whether Yahweh is within or outside the universe is to impose a physical framework on a non-physical being. The rabbis describe this paradox. He is the place of the world, but the world is not his place. This means Yahweh is not localized within the universe, yet the universe exists within his sustaining presence. He is transcendent, greater than creation, independent of it, not bound or contained by it. But he is also immanent, present in every aspect of creation, continuously upholding its being. Creation is not a space in which Yahweh dwells. It is a reality that dwells within his knowledge, will, and power. Yahweh is not one piece of the universe, nor a distant being outside its borders. He is the creator whose reality surrounds, fills, and surpasses all things. Does Yahweh work within time, matter, and space, or outside them? Time, matter, and space are all created realities, beginning at the moment of creation. Yahweh, being uncreated, is not bound by them. He does not move through time as we do. All moments are present before him. He does not occupy space as bodies do. All places depend on his sustaining will. He does not interact with matter as a physical object. Matter exists only because he continuously upholds it. In his essence, Yahweh exists outside the limits of time, space, and matter, yet he acts within them by sustaining creation at every moment. His timelessness is not endless time, but an eternal now beyond temporal sequence. Therefore, Yahweh operates freely beyond the boundaries of created reality, yet his presence and power permeate every element of the created world, giving it form, order, and continued existence. The definition and scope of the cosmos. The term cosmos, Greek cosmos, refers to the totality of created order, everything that exists in time, space, matter, and energy. Genesis 1:1 begins the biblical narrative. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This simple yet profound statement establishes a clear distinction between creator and creation. The cosmos is not divine, it is the handiwork of the divine. Yahweh existed before time began, before the physical universe was spoken into existence. Therefore, the Creator stands apart from the cosmos in his essence and being. Yahweh's transcendence, the God beyond creation. To say that Yahweh is transcendent means he exists beyond all physical and metaphysical limitations. He is not bound by time, matter, or space. Long before the cosmos was formed, Yahweh is. Psalm 92 declares, "Before the mountains were born, or you brought forth the earth and the world, from everlasting to everlasting, you are God." Isaiah 57:15 echoes this truth. "For thus says the high and lofty one who inhabits eternity, whose name is holy." These passages describe the eternal one who exists in a realm beyond our comprehension. No physical dimension can contain him. When King Solomon dedicated the temple, he exclaimed, "Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens cannot contain you." 1 Kings 8:27. This profound confession acknowledges that even the greatest architectural marvel on earth or the infinite expanse of heaven cannot limit the infinite one. Yahweh is the one who contains all things. Nothing contains him. Yahweh's immanence, the God within creation. Though Yahweh is beyond creation, he is also within it. This divine presence within the universe is called immanence. Unlike the deistic idea of a distant creator who abandons his creation, Scripture reveals a God who is intimately involved in sustaining and guiding all that he made. Jeremiah 23:24 records God's own words, "Do I not fill heaven and earth?" declares the Lord. Psalm 139:7-10 adds, "Where can I go from your spirit, or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, behold, you are there." Yahweh's Spirit permeates the cosmos, holding every atom in place. Paul affirms in Colossians 1:17 that he is before all things, and by him all things hold together. Thus, creation exists not as an independent reality, but as a continuous expression of God's sustaining power. The balance of transcendence and immanence. True biblical theology maintains both truths together. Yahweh is transcendent, existing apart from creation, yet immanent, working within it. Ephesians 4:6 summarizes this dual reality. One God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in all. If Yahweh were only transcendent, he would be remote and unreachable. If he were only immanent, he would be part of creation itself, reducing him to pantheism. But Scripture upholds the mystery of both. He is above all, through all, and in all. His presence fills creation while his being remains beyond it. The universe exists in him, but he does not exist in the universe. Yahweh as the one who contains the universe. To say that Yahweh contains the universe means that all of creation exists within his presence, power, and consciousness. The laws of nature, time, and space operate only because he wills them to. Hebrews 1:3 declares that the Son upholds all things by the word of his power. This means that every atom, every star, every galaxy continues in motion because Yahweh's word sustains it. The universe is not self-sustaining, it is God-sustained. Paul expressed this truth on Mars Hill when he said, "In him we live and move and have our being," Acts 17:28. Even as scientists expand the boundaries of the known universe, discovering galaxies billions of light years away, they merely explore the outer edges of what exists within the creative domain of Yahweh. His reality extends beyond all measure. He is infinite. The universe is finite. The cosmos may be vast, but it remains a drop in the ocean of his eternal being. The infinite and the finite. The infinite cannot be contained within the finite. Time and space are part of the created order, while Yahweh is the source of both. He does not dwell in time, he created it. He does not move through space, space exists within him. His existence has no beginning or end, no measure or boundary. Exodus 3:14 captures this eternal self-existence when Yahweh revealed his name to Moses, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh, I am that I am. This name signifies absolute being, the one who depends on nothing else for existence. The entire cosmos depends on him, but he depends on nothing. He is the self-existent reality that sustains all other realities. In Yahweh's manifest presence is when he enters into his creation. The most remarkable demonstration of Yahweh's immanence occurred in the incarnation of Yeshua the Messiah. John 1:14 declares, "The Word became flesh and dwelt among us." The eternal Word, through whom all things were made, entered his own creation, not as one contained by it, but as the one who came to redeem it from within. In Messiah, the transcendent God stepped into time, clothed himself in humanity, and revealed his glory in a tangible way. Yet even as he walked the earth, he remained the one who fills heaven and earth. The Incarnation shows that Yahweh's presence can enter creation without being limited by it. The Big Bang describes the moment when time, space, matter, and energy all came into existence from an initial singularity. Before this event, there was no before, because time itself had not yet begun. Genesis 1:1 expresses this same reality in theological language. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The beginning corresponds to the birth of time, heavens to the emergence of space, earth to the formation of matter. Thus, Genesis and cosmology both speak of the same foundational moment, one in scientific terms and the other in metaphysical terms, showing a universe dependent on a cause beyond itself. Genesis 1:2 describes a formless, unshaped cosmos, which aligns with the early universe dominated by energy and lacking structure. The description of darkness over the deep echoes the opaque state of the universe before photons could travel freely. When light appears in Genesis 1:3, it mirrors the scientific epoch when light separated from matter, first as pure radiation and later as visible cosmic light once the universe cooled. Scripture and cosmology present parallel stages: creation of space-time, chaotic early state, and emergence of light. The triune nature of Yahweh offers a metaphysical framework that harmonizes with the creation account. The Father represents the transcendent source beyond time, the one who initiates existence. The Word, identified as the divine Logos in John, corresponds to the rational laws, mathematical precision, and finely tuned structure of the universe through which all things were made. The Spirit, present at creation and described as hovering over the waters, represents the active presence sustaining and energizing creation as it unfolds. These three are distinct yet united, mirroring the unity and relational depth within the divine essence. Modern physics reveals that reality is more mysterious than classical materialism assumed. The 1997 quantum experiment in Switzerland demonstrated that two photons separated by over 10 kilometers could respond to each other instantaneously. This phenomenon, called entanglement, cannot be confined to space-time because no signal travels between the particles. It shows that the deepest layer of reality is non-local, not limited by distance, and not bound by the usual flow of time. The universe contains within it a domain that behaves in ways classical physics cannot explain. The philosophical implications of quantum entanglement echo certain theological truths. If particles can remain united beyond space and time, then the idea of a being who transcends space and time becomes less abstract. The unity of entangled photons offers a faint analogy, not a proof, of the unity within the Trinity, where distinct persons share one essence. The non-local behavior of quantum particles mirrors the omnipresence of Yahweh, whose presence is not distributed in space, but who is fully present to all creation at once. Taken together, Genesis, the triune nature of God, and modern physics describe a universe that is not self-originating but grounded in a deeper non-material reality. The Big Bang aligns with "in the beginning," revealing a starting point that requires a timeless cause. The unfolding of light corresponds to divine command. The Trinity provides a relational, unified cause behind creation, and quantum entanglement reveals a universe built on principles that transcend classical limits. Science and Scripture, while using different languages, point to a cosmos that originates from and continues to depend upon a transcendent, intelligent, and present Creator. St. Francis of Assisi, 1181 to 1182 to 1226, known for his deep humility and burning desire to understand the mysteries of Elohim, was once walking along the shoreline near his monastery wrestling with one of theology's greatest questions. How can the human mind grasp the nature of Yahweh, his eternity, his infiniteness, his existence beyond space, matter, and time? As he walked, he noticed a small child digging a hole in the sand and running repeatedly to the ocean with a tiny shell, filling the little pit with seawater. Intrigued, Francis approached and asked, "My child, what are you doing?" Without looking up, the boy answered, "I am trying to put the whole ocean into my pond." Francis, surprised, gently corrected him, "But that is impossible. This small hole could never contain the vastness of the ocean." At that moment, the child turned and fixed him with a gaze far deeper than any earthly child's. "And you, Francis," the boy replied, "are doing something far more impossible. You are trying to fit the infinite nature of Yahweh into the small pond of your human mind. Just as the ocean cannot enter this pit, so the one who called the universe into existence cannot be contained within human understanding." Realizing this was no ordinary child but an angel sent to instruct him, the boy vanished from sight. The revelation struck Francis with overwhelming force. He fell to his knees on the sand, undone by the magnitude of his mistake. The waves crashed before him like the endless majesty of God, and he confessed his limitation, recognizing that the human mind, no matter how holy, brilliant, or sincere, is but a tiny vessel before the infinite mystery of Yahweh. The challenge of this story remains for every generation. Are we still trying to shrink God to the size of our understanding? Many of us want Yahweh to fit into our explanations, categories, timelines, and logic, but the Creator is not merely in existence, He is existence. He does not simply have life, He is life. He does not use energy, He is the source of all energy. He is not somewhere in the universe. Space exists because He wills it. The application is clear. The proper response to such a God is not intellectual dominance, but humble surrender. We must become like Francis on his knees, acknowledging that our minds are small ponds, but grateful that the infinite God graciously pours drops of His truth into us, transforming how we live, think, and worship. And so, as Francis rose from his knees, he understood that the pursuit of God is not the conquest of a mystery, but the surrender to it. The ocean before him remained vast, untamed, and beyond measure, yet it reflected the one who fashioned it with a word. From that day, Francis no longer sought to contain Yahweh with his mind, but to be contained by Yahweh's presence. His faith became deeper, his worship purer, and his awe unending. The final challenge to us is this: will we stand at the shore of God's greatness trying to fill our small ponds, or will we step into the vast ocean of His being and allow Him to reshape our understanding? For only when we stop trying to reduce the infinite to the limits of our reason can we truly encounter Him as He is, eternal, boundless, and gloriously beyond all we can imagine. Shalom.